Okay.
Maybe if you want to run loose, there's a good chance to do so.
You want to get off, Betty? No?
Good riding? Bike's okay?
Oh yeah.
Anybody needs their seats raised or lowered?
Just raised mine just a little bit.
Okay. So far so good.
Oh my gosh, let me get away.
Now guys, I told you that we're in a royal park. This is because there's a royal palace, and in front of you is the royal palace of Kensington. This has been the home of kings and queens for almost more than 300 years. All right, Ryan, does this look like a palace to you? Yeah, it does. Big house.
Can you see it?
I know they make them big in Texas.
It's almost as big as
What
ours.
about for you guys? This looks like a palace, or like, you know, Mississippi standard, you know?
It looks less like a palace, but more like a mansion.
Exactly, because it used to be a mansion.
Yeah.
But we have this one king called King William III, and he is a Dutchman. He doesn't speak very good English. He comes over and becomes the new king of England, and he hates London so much because the air stank so for him. He had a bad case of asthma, and that London was really stinky at the time. So he wants to live out in the countryside and look around. It's not that difficult to imagine the countryside once you're here. But since then, every time a king or queen buys up a place, it doesn't matter what it looks like, you have to call it a palace. Kensington Palace. So they can buy up your house, they're going to call it whatever your house is called.
Oh, yeah.
Palace, plus palace. Weird. One of the weirdest is, I don't know, you want to pop it open. You want to pop it open? Here, give it a shot. So, yeah?
Keep going.
Do a real good one.
You can also, yeah, that's that scene from Mary Poppins where Mr. Banks gets fired, you know.
Here we go. Yeah.
Of pounds building a playground for kids, or you can just wait for a tree to fall down.
Oh,
This
yeah.
tree fell down about 8 years ago, and it's been an absolute people's favorite. So right now we have it all to ourselves, and the wood isn't wet, so it's pretty safe to climb.
Climb where you can climb.
And while you're climbing, I want to tell you a few more stories about this place. Now, you have it at the library. So you're familiar with the story? Okay. Do you guys mind, if you guys are familiar with the story, I'm just going to do a little synopsis of what the story is, all right, for these two. And you can watch me from over here. Once upon a time, there was a girl called Wendy, and she had her two brothers, Michael and David, and they had a big dog called Nana. This dog was real. This was the author's dog. There used to be a St. Bernard dog called Nana who used to run around the park. This was real. And she tells them the story of Peter Pan, the boy who never grows old. This boy swoops in through the window, and then Wendy helps put the shadow back onto his feet, because that's what happens. You live in Neverland, and the shadow kind of leaves you, does what what it wants. And so he says, "Why don't you come with me to Neverland?" So look, he sprinkles lots of fairy dust on the distance, and they go flying out the window from their house in Kensington, and they end up on this island, called Neverland. So, and the first thing that happens is they get shot at by a pirate ship.
Oh, no.
Look at that, there's a big cannonball going their way. Because there's a pirate that lives on the pirate ship. What's the pirate's name?
Captain Hook.
Why is he called Captain Hook?
Because he has a hook on his hand.
I was actually talking about this guy just a few minutes ago. This Captain Hook. If you didn't hear me, it's because I just called him by a different name. that king that first lives in Kensington Palace, he is a Dutch king. He had wild curly wigs, he had a big hat with a big plume, and he had this nice Dutch clothing, and he also had a slight stiletto mustache. So when J.M. Barrie, the author of Peter Pan, walks around the park and he's looking for inspiration for Captain Hook, there's actually a statue of him next to the palace. And he says, that's my Captain Hook right there. And Disney just takes and turns him into this. So this entire time you were looking at Dutch royalty.
Wow.
Right? As a matter of fact, in the original story, Captain Hook is a Dutch pirate. Alright? Can't have English pirates in an English book, they gotta be Dutch. You are in the birthplace of Peter Pan. This is where Peter Pan, the story.
That's where Peter Pan's story was
As a matter
born.
of fact, you're in a very special place.
Yeah. Hey, see, this is where Peter Pan was born.
That's where Peter Pan is for.
Kensington Gardens. That's so cool.
It's called Peter Pan
What's
in
Bubba doing?
Kensington Gardens.
Jumping.
Hey, you gonna ride on the bike? It's fish.
Look at images of birds on a papyrus. You will often find this Egyptian goose. So they're very ancient birds. And then you guys are very familiar with one with the black neck. That's a Canada goose. Nothing really special about them. Just avoid them at all costs.
Yes.
Especially if you're on a plane. And then we have the annoying seagulls. Those are the ones that are making a lot of noise. Whereas there's a little fellow with a white stripe on his beak.
Oh yeah.
That's a coot.
Okay,
Yeah. But all these birds are absolutely loving it because you're giving them really good stuff for their tummies. Right?
That's okay. Try again. Yes, you can try.
Whoa.
So
Canadians are fighting.
Aggressive or smart when the wings are raised as you hear. It looks like the dog boat.
Like that one.
He is announcing, get away from me.
Back up, Heidi. Come here.
He wants us to get closer. He wants the other ducks to
Oh.
get closer. Yeah, no, there's a
sword fight in the park.
They have a sword fight.
In Hyde Park, here in London. Hi, buddy. You gonna have a sword fight with some dragons?
This is a very, very, very bloody place. That's why it's called the Field of Blood.
Oh, gosh.
All right.
Oh,
So what happened in the Field of Blood? 5 in the morning, 2 people meet, and they do fencing. Now fencing isn't about this. All right. No hacking and slashing. We're not in the Middle Ages. Fencing is all about poking your opponent. So poke me. Somebody poke me.
Poke him. Poking.
Poking. Poke me.
No,
Huh?
poke.
Don't
Poke.
slash. Poke.
You poke me. You poke me. That's basically what you do. Now, how do you do fencing? First of all, your sword is on your left side.
Right,
Walk
look.
towards your opponent. All right. You pull out your sword, and you get into a fighting stance. All right. This is your fighting stance. Then, if you want to poke somebody, you lean forward and you poke them. If you need to retreat, very easy. You kind of go backwards. If you need to parry. Very good. What about here? Very good. Right, pull your sword before your sword up.
On the
Very
other
good.
side.
That's right.
On guard.
On guard. Stay on guard. Okay, try to poke it.
Ryan, you poke softly.
Advantage. Ah, look at that. Look at that. Oh.
You got him! Oh!
Oh no! Ah, he's got my leg, and he's got my. Oh, his helmet has to come out. What's a scratch?
Poke! Ryan, poke!
You got me. You're a good swordsman. Now.
I think that was horse. I think that was from a horse. So this is the Princess Diana Memorial.
And there's some little snacks for the kids.
Oh, great, thank you.
Guys, 20 minutes? Yeah? If you guys come
Okay.
back earlier, we'll leave earlier. Otherwise, we'll make it 20 minutes. I'll be with the bicycles, okay?
Okay.
They made this for a princess. They made this for a princess. Oh look, there's a squirrel on that tree. You see the squirrel up there? Yeah. You think he's a nice squirrel? Oh, he's gonna come get you. He's gonna come get you. Do you think we have food? Oh, no, he's got food. Okay, you wanna play over here? All right, so we're at the Princess Diana Memorial. Here, I think we're still in Hyde Park. The tour that we're on, they gave Ryan and Heidi both a snack with a little bar and some fruit. I asked Ryan where he wanted to sit. He wanted to sit underneath this tree and have a picnic. We having a picnic? And then Meghan and Heidi are way over there. Meghan's got the yellow backpack on, and they're walking around the Princess Diana Memorial. So it's set up where kids can go, and adults alike, and go wading in it. And it's made of rock that's not slippery. So that's nice. So Ryan and I are going to have our picnic right here on our little stop. At about a 20-minute stop here. Is it cold? Yeah? Okay, let's walk this way. You want to get in it or no? You want to walk in it or no? Oh, Heidi is soaking wet. Heidi just got all in. Heidi, please don't fall down. guys. Try off. Heidi, do you want a snack?
Gonna go sit by the tree and have a snack?
So Heidi girl went all in the water, got completely soaked. Always bring a change of clothes. We didn't know there was gonna be water.
Yeah, we were carrying lights today. But you know what? We're just gonna. Are we ready?
Right, come here.
If you look at it, it's very gnarly, as oaks are. But when the children started playing with this oak, when they found it, these artists started putting all sorts of elves and fairies on it. But the thing that really made this tree stand out is the fact that it's actually, you can go in it. There's a hole, right here. There's an entrance, and you can go up a little bit, but then it used to go down really deep. They had to cement it because kids kept going into it and getting stuck. You actually had to really reach deep down. And so the city, as a way to protect the tree, because it's now become a work of art, they slapped a cage around it so children can no longer play with it. Boo.
Way to go, kids. You ruined it for us.
So the city, as a way of saying sorry, they built London's biggest and most famous playground, which is all about the story of Peter Pan and Neverland.
What do you say?
You're welcome.
Thank you. Finally warmed up.
Ryan, what do you tell him?
Made it.
Ryan, what do you tell him?
Okay, so you guys found there's a little bag of treasure.
What's
There's
in
also a notebook inside because every time you travel, you need to have a notebook. Never leave home without something to write on or something to write with. So I even provide
Treasure.
There is a silly little badge with Renard the fox, which is the
Very cute.
because I have a fox in my garden and I love him.
Oh.
He doesn't ride a bicycle, but there's also a bag of seeds. There's a little heart,
Not too hard. Not too hard.
a little power button, and you can keep the towel.
Okay. Are you sure?
Yeah,
Oh.
it's fine.
Yeah. Go for it.
You should tell him.
You can leave him on. All right, you want to go play on the ship?
Yeah. Poppy's just trying to find out where they are.
Go ahead, buddy. All right, we're going to end our tour here. Yeah, that was good with Daniel. Biked through Kensington Park, Kensington Gardens, Hyde Park, and then we wound up here at it's called like the Peter Pan Park. So it's got a ship like Peter Pan does. So Ryan, Heidi, you're going to play on it. Heidi got all wet. But yeah, I'll put a link for the tour in the description down below. Make sure y'all book that if you're here in London with Daniel. And thanks for following. Y'all have a good one. See you in the next video.